Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I am playing some Destro Frost MLM, and I haven't played this comp in forever. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know this used to be one of my favorite comps back in like Season 14, Season 15. I used to play this with Thugonomics and like Danny Carey, Sharpstorm, Barry. This was such a fun comp, and I'm actually playing with the boy Thugonomics, and Novos now plays a Mistweaver. He's pretty good at it. So we are playing. It's not the greatest comp. I would not recommend it. I mean, you could maybe push Gladiator, maybe even rank 1 with it, but it's not like a tournament level comp. You're not going to be able to consistently beat people. The problem that we were facing against most teams that our Destro Warlock would just die, and then the games where they were going me, it wasn't like super easy to live either. So I guess our defensives just weren't that great. But our offensive pressure seemed pretty freaking good. My Warlock was actually playing Big Bolt spec. So what that means is his Chaos Bolts, it wasn't the cremation spec. You know, it wasn't the AoE, just, you know, slowly rot everything down Destro spec. It was the Big Bolt one-shot spec. And on top of that, I was playing Glacial Spike. So we were playing Glacial Big Bolt. And that is what made these games so much fun. And like I said, they weren't like the best games of all time. We were cubing around 2,300, 2,400. So it's not like we were just owning, but I still had a very, very good time. And then we ended up playing some Arcane Demon Hunter later in the night. Those didn't go super well, but I died a couple games without blocking, so you know how that goes. Anyway, back into these games. Kind of the goal is for me to just run and kite, fear and sheep when we really need peels. And then besides that, just kind of sit in the corner of the map, throw out big Chaos Bolts, big Glacial Spikes. When I get kicked in Glacial Spike, the cool thing is I can cast Ebon Bolt. So I can basically cast a Glacial, once they kick me, cast an Ebon. They're both very, very scary. They both do probably about 1,000,000 damage. So either one that they stop, I can still cast the other one. If you always want to cast the Glacial first, though. If you cast the Ebon Bolt first and then get kicked, you're not going to be able to cast the Glacial, but you can do it the other way around. So that's definitely the way I'd recommend doing it. So yeah, I think if these guys were to just go on my Warlock, they would actually win pretty fast. I wasn't the worst target in the world. Like, they did actually force a lot of cooldowns, and it was pretty difficult for me to live. I actually did manage maybe to hold onto my block here. Whew, that was a crazy hold. Got back in line inside my Monk. He did Monk bubble me. Held onto my Ice Block there, so I'm going to have my Ice Block for a later time. So basically, guys, the spec that I'm playing is still Orb spec. Everything is the same except Comet Storm is now Glacial Spike. Everything else is exactly how it used to be. People are wondering what spec I'm running with Glacial Spike. It's exactly the same. I did a little bit of testing with the old spec, kind of with like Ice Form and stuff, and I wasn't a huge fan just because you lose that consistency of the Frozen Orb, because Frozen Orb is still very nice burst. Look at that. I just hit a 1.3 million Glacial Spike without, you know, needing Ice Form, without needing that. And that's, I don't even know if that was a crit actually, because I know I've hit up to like almost 2 million without a Sky Fury totem. I've hit like 1.95 mil with no Sky Fury, which is pretty insane. That is including Icy Veins though. So I'm getting pretty low here, barely get my freaking block off there. Come out, and I'm kind of just wanting to sit here in the room so that my Warlock can pump as much damage as possible, and the Shaman eventually does go down with that strategy. But if I were to just run around forever, I might be able to live a little bit longer, but I don't think we would ever get close offensively to a kill. Whereas if I sit kind of here in the room or kind of kite back and forth between the gate, I'm gonna die, but they're also going to die. So it's kind of like a trade-off, and it's kind of a trade-off that I think you need to take. There's a scoreboard if you want to pause it on that. But the exception is Marksman Hunters. I don't know if against Marksman Hunter if you can just sit out in the open. So this next game, this is Marksman and Enhance. They're going on my Warlock this time. So I'm like, alright, you're dead. Chi-chi. Basically, we just wanted to focus a lot on Sheeps and Fears. Because if you just let the Hunter free cast, basically, kill that Counter-Strike totem. If you let the Hunter free cast aim shots, wind bursts in the open, you're going to die. Like, it's just too much damage. So we're focusing on damage because we need to kill them, but we're also focusing on Sheeps and Fears when we don't have a lot of damage lined up. So that's kind of the pace of this game. Sheep the Pally, burst the DPS, sheep and fear the DPS while we're waiting for the DRs back on the pally, and we just go back and forth. I think any 3 DPS here, or Hunter, Enhance, or Pally can die. That's kind of the cool thing about MLM or just Destro Mage in general, is that you can kill any of the 3 anytime. You have enough damage to just one-shot anything. The bad thing is that we're kind of like glass cannons. It's like, if we get hit, we're kind of gonna die. But they're sitting in my Blizzard, they're sitting in my Orb, doing so much damage to everything. We get a coil on both DPS. The Paladin gets feared. The Pally popped Aura and used a heal there. I spell stole it, but I didn't get the freaking counterspell in time, so I counterspelled into the Aura, or else he might have just died there. But we do force Bubble. Hunter, I'm just throwing into some sheeps. I want to keep my Warlock up until this next go. My Warlock's doing a great job surviving. It's actually kind of insane I was still alive. And as I say that, he's spiking down below to like 10% because my Monk goes into a full trap. I throw out some sheeps onto the Shaman and to the Hunter until they're both immune, and then I just blink over, belf the Pally, and finish him off with a Flurry. So pretty nice little end there. Obviously, my Warlock is about to go down, and if this game went on too much longer, if we actually didn't secure that kill, we might have just ended up losing, pretty soon here. So it's pretty fortunate we got to kill the Pally there and force that bubble earlier on. But like I said, guys, if this went any longer, if these guys played a little bit better, we would have lost. The games weren't just like, I remember back in MOP when we used to play this, we would own people at like 3K and just consistently farm people. It was just so much fun. But those days are a little, kind of in the past. Actually, last season I ran it with Simon Howell, if you guys remember, to rank 1. So I guess that it's not too far in the past now. But this is one of my all-time favorite comps. The main reason is you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes the game will end in 2 minutes. Sometimes it'll be a deep dampener. Sometimes you'll kill the healer. Sometimes you'll kill DPS. It's not scripted. And that's my favorite part. With RMD, it's always the same script. I'm not saying RMD is easy. RMD is very difficult. But, it's always the same script. With a lot of comps, it's always the same thing. You're just doing it over and over. With this comp, you never know what's going to happen. It might be kind of easier to play because you're just turreting damage, but the fun thing about it is you just never know what's going to happen. You can go for one-shots on any of the 3 based on their positional mistakes, based on whether they have a trinket or not, based on what defensive cooldowns they have. So every game you're using your brain to think, okay, what should I kill? What should I kill? What should I do damage on? What should I burst? And look at this, they're all stacking behind the pillar. It's just awesome. I have a Blizzard down on all 3. My Orb's coming back so soon. I'm just orbing everything, Blizzarding everything. Get silenced there on my trinket, and then mind controlled. I was so sad. I ended up blocking it, and then I just got mind controlled again. Little over aggressive here by me, but it's okay. If I need to, I can always just play back. I don't really need the blocks if I play safe enough, but trinketing and blocking still isn't the greatest strategy in the world. So they're so scared. We're playing big bulk glacial, right? So that if they pop their head, we're gonna punish them pretty hard. So we're basically making them sit behind the box, and because they're sitting behind the box, they're not doing too much damage. So we're really just like pinning them in the corner and then drilling, if that makes any sense. And yeah, so we kicked the Warlock here. That was the worst temp shield ever. I don't know why I temped. I could maybe even go dampen magic. It's really hard to get a good temp shield against this team. Maybe on a Thalk heals or something, but that might just one-shot you, so it's better to blink it anyway. But yeah, with this much Shadow Priest consistent pressure, it's almost better to just play dampen magic. I find myself almost never getting effective temp shields. But yeah, there's our Monk rolls in, leg sweeps everything, and the Warlock goes down. So there it is, guys. Leg sweep, paralyze, huge burst combos can kill up pretty much anything. Guys, thumbs this video up if you like this old school MLM with Thugonomics and Novos. Thumbs video down if you didn't like it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see for next time. No more PvE content. I heard you guys loud and clear. You like the PvP, but you did like the last 2 videos anyway, so I'm happy to hear that. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!